Hello, everybody. Welcome to the TEC High School League. Today, this time, though, for the Overwatch side of things, you're brought up here with me, your play-by-play caster, Atro, and with me, we have the wonderful Lord Ethan watching over this great game between Greater Johnstown and Somerset. How are you doing?
I'm doing really well, Atro. I'm pretty excited to get back in the booth with the esport company and as well watch the high school scene. It's a scene that I have a little bit of experience with, but as we're seeing a lot of growth in collegiate, you gotta give some tender love and care, some attention towards these high school teams and players. It's a different caliber of play, but it's nonetheless exciting.
Oh, it definitely is, and it's gonna be even more exciting knowing what the map pool is about to be here in this week one, and it is the week one. It's the first week of this season 3 for this league, so I'm very excited to start things off strong. We're gonna be having, as I said before, Greater Johnstown versus Somerset. A lot of good times to be had on Busan first of up, and then we have Havana, and then if we get to Anubis, it's gonna be just a extremely close game that we maybe even be able to draw out.
It's no secret that I'd love these games to go all the series to go the distance. I definitely like to see Anubis played. Believe it or not, I like the 2CP game mode. Mostly watching it, but it's a real test for teams that are coordinated. It benefits that style of gameplay. So, I think we'll see some really good showings from Greater Johnstown or Somerset on Busan and Havana. But like you mentioned, man, if we can get all the way to Temple of Anubis, that's going to be where the game is.
Oh yeah, definitely. And speaking of these two teams, let's just get through the roll call, I guess, pretty quickly until we do get to the actual game. So for the side of Somerset, we do have onto the tank lineup, MJ Plays and Saver Prowler, which again, we're going into this one blind, but kind of going up with a meta. I'll have you give up your opinions after we go through the DPS and the support. Speaking of, on the DPS side, we've got Arsinuwu and Yibo, and onto the support line, and we've got Thick Swiss and Kitten Spy. So, speaking of meta, what are you looking at least for the tank lineup?
For the tanks, double shield is a pretty conventional strategy to opt for. The rush kind of Rhine Diva ends up being strong on certain areas of these maps, but really, if I can get a little bit of 6-man composition, I'll be excited. There's a lot of looks that you can see right now in Overwatch. Being not quite balanced, but balanced as it is. I think we'll get to see a lot of versatility from the Golden Eagles. But onto the Greater Johnstown Trojans roster. You've got Trick to Death and I'm Just Mythic on the tank lineup. River Galaxy is going to be taking up DPS as well as Trojan 1. We've got Trojan 5 and Game Genix on the support lineup tonight, and this is an era of Overwatch where tank and support gameplay is really impactful. So my eyes are going to be on the players like I'm Just Mythic and Game Genix. We've gotten to talk a little bit about the series, but real quick before we head into the action, let's take a look at the schedule as well. This is going to be game 1. You'll be watching Somerset versus Greater Johnstown. And then for game 2, we have a second series for you, Windber versus Forest Hills. I'm very excited to see that one go down as well. Atro, there was supposed to be game 3, but I think we're kind of waiting for details on that one.
Yeah, we are. It's going to be pending in a bit. I think it's either going to be brought up here tonight or maybe into the upcoming week. We might have some news about when that game is going to be played. But we are in game. Let's talk about what's going on right here in front of our eyes. And there's some interesting compositions already, you know. I'm starting to see what we kind of assumed would go down here. The basic, you know, you have the standard going in there with the Ryan being picked, maybe a D.Va, maybe a Zarya. Then the DPS is interesting. I'd like to talk. I'd like you to talk to me about what DPS is being picked here, going into this side of the map.
Well, Greater Johnstown Trojans are opting for a heavy engagement style DPS lineup. Tons of frontline damage with Trojan 1 on the Junkrat, but River Galaxy is well able to use cooldowns to get into the midline of Somerset and draw out some of their cooldowns. It's going to be a tough matchup though. Yi with the range on Trojan 1 and Arson on the Symmetra. It's going to be more than enough space created against this Genji. Teleporter already going up on the objective.
Oh. Yeah, it looks like it, but she's gonna have to back away, you know. Arson is gonna have a hard time actually getting his whole team into the actual site, but it looks like the pressure is fully from Greater Johnstown right now. That Genji is pressuring out the right flank very, very well, as the Fire Strike is gonna definitely hit its mark. Thick Swiss now down to low HP though, means that they have to be playing in a bit at the back there, get some Metro up and charging with that beam and let the rest of the play speak for itself, which I think it will, with this ultimate coming in from Symmetra right now, going down into the side. No, oh, there goes the first elimination onto River Galaxy. A big, huge impact going in with a second trade as well. Now Arsenal is gonna fall down, and Trojan is just going berserk down there in the back line. 2 reses are gonna come back forth, but Tricks to death.
Tried to get it.
A wonderful counter charge over there actually to kill himself. It looks like we are down still in a 4v2, 4v1, and make that just a winning fight for Greater Johnstown. Okay, walk me through what just happened, because that was mind-boggling and a half.
A little bit. Yeah, you know, I mentioned Greater Johnstown with a heavy engagement style DPS lineup. They ended up playing a little bit of that waiting game, drawing out the resources from Somerset. You saw the shield break from Savo a lot sooner than it broke from Trick's death. So, you know, ultimately winning that resource game out means that Greater Johnstown has an advantage already being on point, but they're coming up into, or they're playing into a couple of ultimates, namely the Coalescence here. We'll see if they're able to sustain.
Yeah, I wonder, because that TP is gonna go there in the back line already. Trojan's falling down. It looks like MJ is gonna have to do his best to attempt to get away any projectiles going into his team, but it does not matter. Even the bomb going away after the fight is finished, it only means that River Galaxy and Saber Prowler have to finish off this fight here, and it looks like that's just what happened. Somerset were able to get back away at it, and well, 76 already percentage for Greater Johnstown. I think that's pretty damn good.
Yeah, it is pretty good for Greater Johnstown coming into this with 5 ultimates the next fight, and as well, kind of lingering a little bit closer towards that last fight territory. They're looking at a pretty good situation. I think that I would love to see a little bit more of the Rhine 1v1s. You know this, Atro, playing Rhine as much as you do. You know, I really want to see Savo get in there and just start swinging. And with the help of the Valkyrie from Thick Swiss, they might just be able to do that.
Oh, and I think they are. They're looking for the shatter. It looks like the grab is gonna fall down with the blade to wonderfully just trade along a few kills over here. River Galaxy finding the 2 DPS from the enemy side, and it looks like it's all down to him to do even more damage onto this Reinhardt, who's definitely trying to stay alive, but is not gonna manage it for long enough, because it looks like the side is already gonna fall down. The supports are all the way down in the down 5 feet under, I meant to say, and it looks like the fight is already over before we could even start talking about more exciting stuff.
Trojan 1 still sitting on this Riptire as well, so that means that for this upcoming potential last fight, you're working with a what I kind of refer to as a free win condition. You get a critical elimination with this Riptire from Trojan, shut down Thick Swiss, or maybe get Kitten Spy before they're able to Coalescence, and that'll be really meaningful.
Already the first kill coming up with the Symmetra trade onto Trojans. He's trying to get away, but it looks like the trade for the supports is gonna happen here. The Mercies are all down in the trade, and the Junkrat, I meant to say here, is gonna take out Saber Prowler, taking him out, and also leaving up the side completely empty of any pressure coming in from any tanks. Now the bomb's gonna come in through as well, and look at this charge coming in from Trick to Death to take away MJ Plays. Not even stand up on the point anymore. It looks like this Symmetra's gonna have to do all the work by herself, and she's definitely managing to pull it off as the Blaze is gonna come in from the back as well. It's looking like a 4v2 to actually attempt to stay on this point, but Somerset, oh god, I have bad news for you guys. No more ultimates, and it looks like this shatter is gonna be the end of you if you're actually gonna be able to pull it off, but oh wow. That was a C9.
Little bit. You were looking at a winnable fight there. Eventually, Savo has to go for the hero play, right? Has to get the pin onto the Rhine for Greater Johnstown, onto Trix, and you know, nullify an opportunity to use that fight swinging ultimate. Let's not kid ourselves what Shatter ends up being. And then ultimately, you know, Yi and Kitten Spy are looking to get kills from a distance or care their own Reinhardt, and so you just end up not being able to touch. A little unfortunate, but heading here into Mecha Base, I think that the brawl style composition that Somerset Golden Eagles are wanting to play, I think that this is the map to see that in action.
Yeah, but that, you know, both of those DPS are doing a lot of work against it, and I don't think they should necessarily keep on at it. And I won't lie to you, Ethan, here. I have forgot how intense, actually, Overwatch gameplay is. I'm just sticking on here with CSGO, and I'm just seeing all this happening there. Yibo having a bit of trouble going in there in the back, trying to get some kills, but I think the first elimination is going to come in from Saber Prowler. Onto the side already, it looks like the supports are trying to do the most here, trying to size up the enemy tanks, and it looks like it's just a support power currently going on, and that support is almost going to be taken out.
How does that work?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, again, everyone is just going down. It's a fair 1-for-1 trade on all aspects of the word. But that Junkrat's gonna fall away to a turret, and it's all down to Genji. River Galaxy has definitely been the MVP in my eyes currently, doing a lot of damage up here and a lot of pressure as well. But he is gonna have to back down, and we're looking at already some tiny little ultimates popping up here for Somerset.
Yeah, Arsene Wu is really quick on the uptake of these photon barriers, and as well, you know, you're talking about defensive resources. Let's look at the offensive from Savo Prowler, getting close to this Earth Shatter. Trojan 5 though, not coming up on the ultimate, but is going to have the revive, and their tempo reses have been so good so far. If there's anything that's going to keep Greater Johnstown in this next fight, it is going to be Trojan 5's revive.
Yeah, but look at this push. Look at the aggressive TP is gonna go down there and there just to get the shield down for a few seconds. Shatter is gonna be blocked away by wonderful 3xZ's play, and it's down to Arsene Wu, who is 50 HP. Is gonna go down. No surprise there, but we're still back down here at the trades. It looks like everything is pretty congested, and they're trying to get their way across to this place. But the blade is gonna go on down there. The temp res is actually gonna be attempted to be blocked, but it's not gonna matter. The sound barrier is gonna come in and save everyone. Bomb as well, getting two people out of the fight now. It looks like Somerset still have the big advantage going into it as Trojan trying to find himself a kill after death. It looks like he's gonna take away Kitten Spy over there, and oh no, Reinhardt, don't fall away. You even have the Coalescence to save you away, and it's still a 3v3 fight, but the point is still in disfavor of Somerset going now in a way. It's is this fight finally gonna end? I think it is. Wow.
Yeah, and now Greater Johnstown Trojans are looking at a similar situation that they themselves established on Busan Sanctuary, the last map, where, you know, now it's Somerset with a little bit of that point progress advantage. Coming to this next fight with a tactical visor. Teleport's gonna be in the backlines here. It's a TP bomb, but now Arsene's caught out.
Yeah, Arsene kind of messing up that. No, that charter is perfect, and Iabu coming in from back. I'm gonna talk about that later, messing up those turrets a bit, but that was a wonderful retake coming out of Somerset. I think those are two ultimates to take away the whole entire enemy team.
Normally you're looking at your tanks for the call space created, but right there was Arsene in the backlines getting Greater Johnstown to all turn around on them. That is space created, let me tell you.
Indeed also, it is. Sorry. Stay hydrated, kids.
You've got Greater Johnstown coming up on 2 tank ultimates. These are incredibly powerful ultimates. The Graviton Surge is going to lock Somerset into place. Yup. It's
gonna go down here, and I think the turret's coming back. No, actually the blade and the counter charge is gonna be perfect in there to get that shield down, and it looks like the kill's gonna start on rolling through the shatter as well. It's gonna be perfect. Oh!
Massive tire!
Tire was insane, and I think absolutely game-defining here to retry Greater Johnstown to take back the second point. Oh my god. I can't wait to see that in the play of the game.
I mean, I did mention tires, kind of a free win condition, if you will. Photon Barrier was really good from Arsene Wu in response to the Graviton Surge, but ultimately when that dissipates, there's an opportunity for Trojan 1 to find a lot of value with the Junkrat ultimate. Still last fight territory here, though. Somerset's got to make a move.
Yeah, and it looks like Greater Johnston are playing a way more diverse comp, whereas Somerset just stay congested, stay controlled together, and they try to get this pushing done to get. Oh no, you messed. No, you didn't mess it up. You tried to do it with the DP, and it was wonderful. It's free, 3 kills. That's the fight. Is it not, Greater Johnston? You absolutely did not expect that one to come in through, and now you're gonna mess up big time for it. As Somerset are most likely gonna take this fight and take this point on to, well, control point number 3. Wow.
That was so good! Support ultimates expended here from Greater Johnstown in an effort to keep themselves alive in this round. Swing Sabo, go for the pin! Misses, but, Trix is swinging it.
Wait, the Doomfist switch? The Doomfist switch, wait for it. Overtime taken out to half. Can he pull it off? He's trying to stay alive, and it looks like he might actually make it if he kills down that soldier. Nobody else is coming up to save him, though, and I think it's a bit too late. It might be a bit too late.
You know, so like I mentioned before the series began, as this round wraps up, eventually, perhaps later rather than sooner. As I mentioned earlier, you know, we're seeing esports kind of grow all over the place in all the different tiers in all the different sectors, right? So I mentioned collegiate a little bit ago, and I mentioned high school. Again, there is a disparity there, right? You're seeing these games are a little bit more slow, a little bit more methodical. You know, Somerset and Greater Johnstown both have this style where they, you know, want to expend their resources early and then commit, which isn't a style that you're going to see often. But when your opponent is playing like that, or like you are, really, then you're able to get away with a lot of the stuff that both these teams are getting away with. And it's really the capitalization off of those opportunities. The TP bomb, the TP turrets, right? The tempo revives from Trojan 5 not getting shut down, right? It's all working together magnificently for both these teams, I think.
And don't you just think right now it's a bit weird that Greater Johnstown are going in with a Doomfist and Junkrat in against this Symmetra soldier that is working out really well. And as I say that, the support lineup is just going to get absolutely demolished on over by River Galaxy, playing extremely well on that Doomfist, getting a triple kill to start things off, and that's the Quadra. Oh my god.
Yeah, if you didn't think that this gameplay that we've seen was quite fast-paced, it's River Galaxy coming through on the Doomfist, helping to liven things up. Really fun stuff, and they're already halfway to that Meteor Strike. Trojan 5, as well, has done a considerable amount of either damage amplification or enough healing to generate themselves a little ways towards that Valkyrie. Really nice fight. I think we just need to Somerset turn around whenever River Galaxy ends up in their backlines, and you win that fight.
Yibo kind of falling down away from the high ground position very fast there. So poor Reinhardt falling down immediately as you just come in and try to open up some pressure. The Shatter is here, and I think it's going to be used any second here, but it doesn't even matter. The Trojan 1 is going to do all the work for you. Charge missed, but it does not. We don't have a care in the world. The supports are in the back line, emptying up and ready for you to just do something over here. I think we're still at an impasse, and we're still looking for these 2v2s to actually finish up here. And as we're saying that, oh, the pin is pretty well placed, but you still have the baby diva to worry about. When you have Zarya, though, you're still gonna fall down. Okay, it's a 1-for-1 trade now. Still, Zarya against Reinhardt. Zarya's usually gonna win, but I guess without a support, it's not gonna happen. We're back at River Galaxy, though. Let's see this man in action. He's gonna go for one. He gets one. He's gonna go for the second. He uses up the Meteor Fist, and he gets the second. No, he doesn't, and let's hope the second doesn't get him, because if that happens, it's gonna be a very sad, unfortunate event, which did just transpire here. Even the bomb to actually end things off in a way for Somerset to get back to this point, a team kill, but a very hard-fought one at that.
Yeah, and, you know, if you've got to use the ult to win the fight, then, you know, that's what you got to do. MJ played that absolutely perfectly there. But Greater Johnstown is at an advantage. They didn't have to sacrifice quite as much in that fight. You saw the Meteor Strike committed from River Galaxy, and they're now on the Sombra, right? So they're free to play, just to swap that hero. And so now, coming into this with 4 ults, it's only a matter of time for Somerset to lose this point.
And speaking of ults, it looks like this tower is gonna get its job done, taking out Reinhardt, and now the Shatter is completely free here from Tricksters. But is he actually gonna use it? Now the charge, that was a wonderful photon barrier coming out of Arson to block that away, and it looks like, are you gonna get an environmental kills? No, you're not. It looks like Tricksters is gonna fall down there in the back line if he's not careful. He's taking down Arson with him though, so it's all good. The grab is not gonna be used up here, and it seems like we're still having a Shadow being used up there with a coalescence into a double kill, but I guess that's just what you have to do to finish off a fight.
Hey, you gotta drop it there. You gotta maybe a little bit of the Reinhardt energy, saying, yeah, I don't need this. I've got my hammer, I've got my pin. That's all I need.
Get it back in 5 seconds.
Yeah, exactly. With the rate Reinhardt is now. Somerset played that really well. The photon barrier from Arson was absolutely spectacular, blocking the shatter from Tricks for death. But they're coming up halfway on another one. They'll have another shatter here in the mid fight. They live long enough.
Oh no!
Oh, they won't! Oh no!
They won't, they really won't, and now Soldier doing all the work here, finding the first kill onto the Pharaoh without even need of the help from the Advisor, and getting a triple kill after that. This man is playing really, really well tonight. Ebo doing his best to save up on that ult economy for Somerset, although there's not that much to work on.
You've got the grab here for Greater Johnstown, but like you mentioned, for Somerset, not too much to speak of. MJ might be able to build up that bomb with enough damage dished out onto the main tank of Tricks, looking to go critically low and then down eventually. Yeah.
This grab is pretty big though, and I think MJ's just getting the play of the century, eating it up. Oh no, what happened? Greater Johnstown, you started out so well, and now Somerset just won the first map of Busan with absolutely no problems in mind, playing up those ultimates really, really well. What'd you think all in all of Busan?
I think that, you know, I'm not used to seeing these Rein Zarya brawl compositions emerge on all 3 maps of Busan. So this is a little refreshing to me, Atro. I'm not gonna lie. Beautiful tire, by the way.
Yeah.
This is a little refreshing. It almost looks to me like, you know, kind of 2018, 2017 style Overwatch, where players were, you know, and don't get me wrong, you know, everyone is a risk taker to some extent, but you know, again, where players are a little bit more slower, a little bit more methodical, and making sure that that they have the resources to eventually win out the fight. That's Somerset's strategy here. Is, you know, we'll burn through what we've got early in some of these engagements, but you know, hey, as long as we bring it back in the mid fight, then they look strong, and that's exactly what we got to see on Busan.
That's what I'm talking, baby. That's what I'm talking. Because, you know, I haven't played Overwatch since that period, since like 2018, 2019. So for me, this is a perfect run-of-the-mill game. Everything just went the right way. Somerset had a real good combo of ultis. And I don't think there was much mechanical difference. There was a lot of team difference in my eyes, though, because you could see that both Johnston and Somerset were definitely both teams that knew how to communicate, right? But I think Somerset just did it a bit better. They knew when to coordinate ultimates. They knew when to interrupt the site. Whereas you had Johnston, they knew what they were doing, but they were focusing on River Galaxy. They were focusing on Trojan 1, trying to get those solo plays, maybe get some opening picks, and then join up on the site. Then just start doing the damage, then racking up the points. Whereas I think Somerset are an all-rounder sort of team, which I appreciate a bit more, maybe.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's something that we'll get even more insight into if the series is able to go all the way to Anubis, like we've mentioned. For now, we're going to be heading into map 2. That's going to be Havana. I mentioned double shield. If there's any map that you're going to proc that out on, it's going to be Havana, taking it to these long sight lines. Maybe we'll get to see a sniper from either side, but again, if we get to see the Rhine brawl, I won't complain.
I mean, I won't complain either, but maybe we'll see the monkey. Maybe we'll see the monkey Zarya. Who knows?
Some dive. Okay, yeah, double bubble.
Double bubbles are always a lot of fun, and honestly, when you think of sniper, you always think of Widow, right? But honestly, at this level of play, I think we might see a Hanzo, but we are actually not. We're seeing the same old, that is the good old trustworthy.
So this is really interesting, and again, I'm going to go into a little bit of the differences between you know, what you'll see in the high school scene and what you'll see in the collegiate scene. All of these rosters, by the way, are going to be mixed SR based rosters, right? It's just, you know, it's just students in a program. You're going to work with what you got. So what this is here is you're getting to see normally you would see players opting for heroes who are good on specific maps, right? So this is a great map for the Orisa, for the Sigma, but rather than opting into the metagame and saying, you know, here's the maps that you'd want to play for this hero, it's Greater Johnstown and Somerset saying, we're going to rely on our comfort picks, on our inherent strengths and strategies, and make it work on every map we play on. I love that energy.
Yeah, speaking of energy already, Zarya heading up to 80 from a single bubble, now trying to hold the E down, and looks like the TP strat is still gonna go all down here as Mythic is falling down to low HP. His supports are definitely coming up for him. And speaking of supports, Mercy, get away, please! You're down at 1 HP.
Little Mercy.
And seems like you're not gonna be doing that. Instead, the DPS is just gonna be ways away in terms of skill here for Johnston, as Trojan 1 is just getting those backline kills and doing everything right to open up his tanks line upside and just let them reign free and supreme, and that's exactly what they're doing.
You know, in retrospect, it's actually pretty good that Savo isn't over-eager to swing into Greater Johnstown's formation. You're looking at the damage that they can dish out from Trojan 1 and River Galaxy, compared to the healing that Somerset is capable of with Thick Swiss and Kitten Spy on the Mercy Lucio. You're going to feel the strain of resources on that front line, so you're very reliant on Arsene Ubu and Yi Yi.
Speaking of Savo starting things out right already, the shatter is going to be huge
beautiful.
going into it. One Ryan is almost going to go down, but the counter charge is going to be perfect to playing on along with Bubble. And it looks like Mythic is trying to just show everyone what he is made of, and that's exactly what he's opened up his team to do. There goes River Galaxy with the cleanup as well. That was one turnaround that I'm glad to see.
Oh yeah, that was a really nice counterplay to the shatter, and you know, all of our resident Ryan mains are, are so sad about that nerf on shatter from 3 seconds to 2.5. But Greater Johnstown outplayed that really well.
You could definitely tell that that nerf was the deciding factor for here. Oh, I want to see Trojan. Trojan, do it to him. Do it to him. It's going to be only Kitten because he knew when to right-click away. So that's fine. That's completely fine. You still got the main support down. And now this grab is going to be Valkyrie down. And it looks like... Oh my... Oh, actually, I thought that was eaten for a second. I don't know why, but River Galaxy is still going to get the kill on the Evo as the Riz is going to come on through. It looks like still is going to be a 5v5. And as we're talking about that, Arsene is going to go in all the way in there. Two beams going up against one another, and it looks like Mythic's one is going to be a bit bigger as he's going to take out the main tank. We're still at a constant brawl as the Soundbearer is coming in as well. That Fire Strike is going to generate a lot of shatter charge. And Trick is just waiting for it. Trick is definitely just waiting for it. He charges away, doesn't find anyone, and now looks for it. Just press that Q. Press that Q, man, as the Diva Bomb's gonna come down. It's gonna get a double kill. And that's gonna enable Somerset to get a basic clean wipe.
That was a really good position for Somerset to have on Greater Johnston to brawl it out on that point. And what that meant is that Somerset had to expend a lot of resources. Made me super nervous. I started sweating when I saw Thick Swiss go for the Valkyrie in the Graviton Surge, but it works out for them. Kitten Spy's able to drop the Sound Barrier to increase the mid-fight sustain from Somerset.
Ooh, they're gonna attempt to touch this before he goes down, and Trick is now gonna shatter away. One person gonna get Thick away from the game, but there's gonna be no risk, so now it's down to a 5v6. Trojan, you have to do all of those just by yourself, but River Galaxy is gonna help you out with one kill on Kitten Spy. The next one's gonna come on to Yibo, and this push is not gonna be done. It's gonna be 30 seconds left. Wow, I did not expect for them to actually get a successful touch here in the last, what, 30 seconds?
Especially without a Lucio, but you've got Game Genist on this Moira pick, and with the ability to engage on the Coalescence, you don't need a Lucio to move quickly, right? You just got to be decisive, but moving quickly, that's what Somerset has done here.
Yeah, and the tire, let's see how big it's gonna be. It's only gonna take out Evo, which is again a constant point of relevance that we've seen here. Just a one-man tire taking people away, as Mythic is trying to do his best to stay alive here. You got the bubble up, but who are you going to give it to? Everybody's dead right here. Johnstown, you're going to have to make this one quick. All hands down for Trojan trying to get away here. But I think the point is going to be pushed here if he's not going to touch it. Yep, there we go. Two and a half more minutes to watch of these guys. But I did want to say before this engage that there were a lot of ultimates burned away by Johnston, and that's why they kind of lost this next engage.
Yeah, and as well, you know, you typically want to use it if you got it, if you've got that moment of opportunity. So also, you got to look at Greater Johnstown's, you know, their commitment of ultimates. You know, that might set them back, or that's the resources drawn out from Somerset. But also, you got to use it so that you can build the next one.
That was such a good grab block away coming in with the shatter from Trix over there. Even though the Fodenbuyer is going to go out here, Arson's still going to fall away to River Galaxy, getting a double kill into the back line, and that just disables Greater Johnstown to push away any further. Like right here, Somerset have got all the pressure that they need, getting away with the visor as well, the double, the triple even coming out of Yibo, and that's all you need to just have this payload under control for now.
Another triple for Yi. The highlight reel is going to be padded after this series, let me tell you. Really good push from Somerset. You're seeing as well that there's a they're cycling their ultimates like you'd see out of any collegiate or semi-professional team, and I'm really liking that from them. Greater Johnstown again though has the ult advantage.
Please, Trojan,
it's
there
a big
we go! Even the shatter being invested over there, I don't know why, but bouncing away onto the baby diva, getting the trade double kill with that bomb as well. It looks like they're investing everything into a fight that's not even the last one, but oh my, that dodge away from the shatter. Trojan, who are you, man? That is really, really well played, and it looks like Sim is not going to be able to do anything by herself as, well, yeah, that's kind of been that fight.
You're still seeing Somerset, you know, they want to contest, draw out this fight. I would have a reset here if I was them, but with Trojan critically low, you've got to engage on something. Got to count on Trojan 5 not bringing them back with a revive.
Yeah, and now all the ultimates coming out, the Coalescence as well. I think we're going to be seeing some of that Valkyrie action coming in from Thixwith any second here if it's going to be needed, as Somerset is attempting to do even more work than they've already done with the Foden barrier. It looks like Arson is going to have to try his best to stay alive, and that's just not going to happen when you have River Galaxy in the back, getting the double kill here, and now looking for the triple, going to miss away that punch. And can you get the Mercy? No, you cannot. It's all down to River Galaxy trying to stay alive, and it looks like that's just not going to happen yet again. An overtime push coming out here from Somerset.
There's a staller though. Get Trojan 5 off the objective so you can get that capture. Somerset is going to continue moving this card, but they're coming up on the most nefarious section of Havana, the last bastion of defense. I see what I did there. It's a very difficult area to push. With the brawl comp in these wide open spaces, Trojan 1 is really going to benefit in the resource game. But yeah, so even if you can push through that stretch, you're really going to feel the hurt break out in these team fights where you're underneath the portcullis in the gate.
Yeah, so as you said, because this is the most nefarious part of Havana, now we see a soldier coming out of River Galaxy instead of that Doomfist that he's always been locking on here. So as the fight is going to come in here from Yibo, he's going to have to be able to shut that down. And if he is going to be able to, then Somerset have nothing to worry about, as Yibo is going to find the first. The second trade is going to come in from Trojan, actually, from none other Trix to Z, killing himself along with the Mercy. I guess that's a fair trade going in for it, but you've lost your main line of defense, and it looks like that sound barrier is going to be all that you need to push away in the last 30 seconds here. There's this random soldier in the back, but nobody cares about that. It's 3 people pushing. All good, all fine in the eyes of Somerset.
And you're getting through the portcullis as well, the most difficult section of this map to actually pass through, and you're matched up against only a Reinhardt on the objective. Watch out for your backs, but this is very winnable here for Somerset.
Very nice shatter block going in the way Trix could even get this one, as Mercy's yet again out of the fight. Oh no, very well played over there by Savo to actually get that cancel onto the shatter, and it looks like that's all that you're going to be needing, along with a bomb to take away Trojan 1. Trojan 5 is going to get that res, but it's not going to be alive long enough because, oh, actually, River Galaxy going to make me eat my words as he's using up this visor over here to take out not 1, but 2 of the people coming in from Somerset over here. Oh, even in the back there, that Symmetra's getting overly zealous. And you're just going to be stalling it. You're trying to get your main tanks along with a point here, but they're all going to fall down. And Greater Johnstown is going to be able to stop this 3-point push.
That was a really nice stabilization of that objective. Greater Johnstown Trojans just... You know, it's not really even dropping the ball, right? But they do end up losing both of those first 2 objectives in overtime fights, right? So then when the going really matters, right? When it really, when you really need to clutch up with that 3rd point hold, you're able to do it. Fantastic stuff from the Trojans. Good push from the Golden Eagles as well. It feels like a 2 CP game, right? You finally capture that second objective when the overtime wick is burning away, and you don't even have a significant ult advantage, but Somerset's still able to make things work out for them on 1st and 2nd point. It's Yibo and Arson with consistent damage, and honestly, you know, I'm not a big believer in the Mercy Lucio Rhine healing comp either, but Thixwith and Kitten Spire are making it work. Absolutely remarkable.
Look at this pirate ship. I don't know what's going on here, right? Because we've got River Galaxy choosing up the Bastion along with a double shield trying to go for a pirate ship. But we've got the counter to that, right? We've got the Bastion straight up onto Evo. Oh god, this is gonna be...
There's a Bastion on Somerset! Alright, well... I didn't know that I needed this game in my life today, but it's significantly improved here. Watching the Bastion 1v1, it's a double shield against the Rhine Diva. Both tank comps are capable of insane damage mitigation. Who has the better setup here? That's what this is going to
actually, River Galaxy just saw in the future, right? And they were like, they've got a Bastion. Wait, I'm gonna go Sombra, and because of that, you're getting your whole team killed.
Oh man, you gotta give the people what they want. We wanted the Bastion 1v1. We won't get it. River Galaxy is opting into the right hero choice here to hack Yibo out of the turret form or the sentry form. And get some nice EMP ult charge off of that as well, especially considering that Thick Swiss is only healing here. So that's, I mean, what, 40% to EMP? Oh, what is Savo doing?
Savo?
Going aggressive?
I was about to say Savo played it so well because he didn't even know about it, but he actually blocked away the hack, just looking back for that Sombra, and he did it. So now going aggressive, he's just proving to me that he is an absolute amazing Reinhardt.
So I'm taking notes. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. I'm learning how to play Reinhardt here. Unfortunate connection on the shatter.
Well, it happens. You know, you get booped up now. Somerset don't have a shield. You know, Yibo's gonna have to make do with what he's got, and he's gonna be hacked away any second, but not before taking out Trojan 1. He's coming up onto that Bastion ultimate, which hasn't been changed now. Is he an artillery boy? No. That's Overwatch 2, right? Look at that EMP going in straight for the Bastion, but you don't have an E set up, so you're gonna have to back away as Mythic is gonna find a play onto MG plays. See what they did there? Yeah. Now, also, well, Lucio's gonna be backed away, and I think that's that. That's that for you. That's that for now. That's that for now. Trojan even finding himself up here.
I mean, your whole team has just died. Thick has to go for the revive, you know, just to be able to say that they got away with it if they're able to. Sarson with a cleverly laid trap there, ensnaring River Galaxy. It's going to be a slowdown on that EMP building. The pick isn't so important because Greater Johnstown has a man advantage and an ultimate advantage. Well, they're looking at actually pretty even. But slowing down River Galaxy's EMP is pretty important. Nice tire. Nice tire.
Yeah, very nice tire. Finding the supports there in the back line, and now it looks like the next fight is going to start up as there is going to be no Reinhardt left to speak of, no tanks even either. So now it's only the DPS, and they're going to fall away as well. So Greater Johnstown is not looking like the best, not in the best shape for now, I'd say.
And as well, you know, we've talked about a couple of these fights now, Atro, where you have so many ultimates expended, high value resources pulled out into fights that are lost or maybe are very easy to lose. And Somerset is able to just get away with the sound barrier and the tire there. So that's really good to me. And again, that's Somerset's ultimate cycling that I think is giving them a serious competitive edge here, coming up into the last minute of this first objective.
But man, my dad just... Oh my god, that EMP has shattered combo!
Nice!
Seeing coming in with the bomb as well. MG plays, tries to do something over here and blocks away both the Bongo and the tower coming out of Trojan 1 here. That's a perfect counterplay to what they just pulled off there. It's down now to a 5v4, but Trick is down to 1 HP. This Sombra is gonna have to do wonders if you want Somerset to be pushing, and I don't think that's gonna be happening, because look at that, River Galaxy 3 HP. Is he gonna be able to get away? I think so. Wow. I'm impressed that we're seeing the double Sombra comp here, and it's actually working out.
Now you've got Yibo with the tank configuration, but now might not be the time to use it. It still could go either way, but the Coalescence has been committed here by Greater Johnson.
Oh, and even more have been committed in the back line, taking away Sava Prowler over there with the Sombra pick, which I love seeing right here. It looks like the aggressive side of River Galaxy is going to be shown to us today, as for the last 15 seconds over here, we're going to be seeing a successful push coming in from Greater Johnstown.
That is really good. I mean, they again, it's an overtime push, but you capture the first objective, and that's really important. River Galaxy is coming up on another EMP here. I'm so amazed that they didn't die. But when River Galaxy goes on Yi Yi and Thick Swiss, I think that I'd like to see them go for the Mercy, disable the Mercy's ability to Guardian Angel away, and see if you can catch them out instead of pelting the Bastion and giving that Mercy ultimate charge.
Speaking of pelting the Bastion,
There we go, Trojan!
Just getting a double kill in the back, and now the Shatter is gonna be wonderful along with the hack to block away all the tank lineups that you could have had onto the Somerset team. Everyone's just falling away, aren't they? Like left and right, you see people dying, and well, everything's being invested. Speaking of ultimates, there's a lot of them coming up for our Somerset, aren't they?
Yeah, they're coming up on another cycle here. The EMP, both of the tank ultimates as well, and just in time as well. It's a harrowing corner to push around. So if you can win this fight, you buy yourself quite a bit of time for that third point.
Indeed it is, and it looks like we're gonna be starting out the last fight here any second.
Oh, Trojan goes down. That's a little unfortunate here for Greater Johnstown. Savo looking for the Shatter.
Looking for the Shatter. Oh, he only found
Shatter again.
He only found one, but EMP is huge actually, finding 4 people, and now the bomb. Wait, I didn't even see that happening. I was looking at something else completely. Can this tower make the same impact that it did? No, it can't.
It's going to be a stabilization here. It looks like for Somerset. That was a really nice EMP bomb. Again, you alluded to this, Atro, is Somerset's ultimate combos. Both teams really have the ult combos pretty nailed down. But I mean, that was just a really good stabilization. I actually forgot that Somerset was defending, not attacking, just because of the formation for that team fight. But being able to stop the payload here is going to be really important.
That's why I was surprised seeing 2 Sombras coming out from both sides right here, as the Coalescence is going to be starting off from the back as well. Thick Swiss is going to go down, and now this Coalescence is proving right, as the CMP is not going to hit them away in the back. And it looks like Hidden Spy is still going to be able to do a lot of healing along with the damage coming in from the ultimate. I'm going to say Coalescence 3 times in the same sentence, as this Sombra is going to fall down. Trojan is trying his best to output as much damage as he can, but there's a D.Va there. She's eating away everything, as that trap is gonna take her out now. We're down to an even 5v5. No, it's actually a 6v4. What's going on here? Greater Johnstown holding down the ground. It looks like everything's going right until Salvo's just gonna get that play along with a Shatter, finding one, finding the second, looking for more. As the Oris is gonna fall in as well. I think we're gonna be seeing the end of point number 2. Oh
the end of the series as a whole, it appears. Atro, Somerset picking up that second map, taking Havana in the series as well. Congratulations to them. You saw, actually briefly, I just want to mention this. You saw Savo go for the Shatter there. You saw from the tank's perspective for Greater Johnstown. And then Savo just kind of stands still there. It's because the instinct after the Shatter is to pin. And he didn't have it on. They didn't have it on cooldown. Beautiful bomb though. Oh man, yeah. I'm taking notes on the D.Va gameplay. The self-destruct is something I've never known how to get away with, and MJ has put on a really good showcase for that.
It wasn't just MJ. I do want to say that in my eyes, MJ was the absolute MVP coming up here for the winning side of the team for them, because he played it so well on all the flanks. He had something to do. He got those kills, and every single D.Va bomb was worth it. But for Somerset, what kind of pulled it away together was, yet again, that teamwork that was in play, because you had the Sombra MP constantly up. She had constant ult advantage over the enemy Sombra, and when they were playing stuff like Ryan D.Va, they could always have an opening pick. They could always have an opening entryway to initiate a good team fight. The supports were also wonderful from both sides. Everything just went right, and I just generally enjoy that game.
And it makes it really difficult for me as a color caster, because I want to look at one particular person just as a brief talking point for, in this case, Somerset, to say, you know, hey, this one individual like really popped off. But it's hard to pick one, just because, like you mentioned, after Busan, a little bit of that, you know, team differential there coming into play. Not to say that Greater Johnstown didn't play their little hearts out. It was really cool stuff that we got to see from them. Trojan 1, Trojan 5 with the tires, the revives. Ultimately, it's really good teamwork, as well as some clutch support swaps and good resource allocation from that backline that gives Somerset the advantage. I think all of them are the MVP for me.
Oh yeah, definitely. And honestly, There could be so many things that I could keep on saying about this
Yeah.
wonderful game, just between these two teams, right? Because this is the first week. This is kind of the initiation that we need to get some info on these two, saying, hey, maybe we have to look out for this guy. Maybe we should play around that comp and switch around that strategy. But we can talk about it all we want when we actually see the next game that's about to happen, Forest Hills and Windber, in just about a few minutes. Don't go anywhere. GG's to both teams, but we are going to have to be moving on to the next one. Ethan, if you have anything else to say, now's the time because we're going to be moving into a quick little break.
Just GG's to both teams. I'm very excited to continue watching them play in the TEC High School League. And, well, let's just get ready for the next series. It's going to be a banger. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Yes. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the second game of today, and sadly, it's gonna be the last one between Windsor and Forest Hills for this week, at least. We're gonna have a fun games on our hands. I can already see it from the lobby, and I'm excited after what we've just seen from Somerset and Greater Johnstown. You're still accompanied by your wonderful play-by-play caster Acho, myself, and my amazing co-caster here, Lord Ethan. How you doing, bud?
I'm doing really good, like you mentioned. Really exciting series that we got to watch unfold here previously, and now we're heading to a new one. It's going to be Forest Hills versus Windber, and I'm anticipating a similar kind of caliber of gameplay. But once again, I'm hoping for lots of versatility. We got to see pretty much the brawl mirror in our last series, and maybe this is the one to shake things up.
Well, who knows? It's still the same apps. It's still Busan, Havana, and Temple of Anubis. So as we're going to get into it, maybe we're going to see renditions of the same thing. Maybe not. Who knows? You know, still Reinhardt and Zarya is still, is still an amazing combo. And Reinhardt Diva as well. Like, Reinhardt is just too good, man. Too good. But
Yeah.
what would Overwatch be without a Reinhardt? Nothing.
True. And what would these teams be without their rosters? Taking a look here at Forest Hills to begin with. You got Flip Stingray. I'm going to call them Flipping at one point. Flip Stingray and Devo bringing up the tank lineup. So, hey, maybe that Ryan Diva, Ryan Zarya style comp that you want to see. Jagward and Vako are going to be DPS players, and Napoleon Kaede wrapping up the composition as the supports.
Very nice, very nice. And as we move on to the second team that we've got here looking on tonight, it's going to be Windber. And, well, we've kind of got an interesting situation here, right? Because all of their names are WASD Esports 1 through 6, but we've got their actual names going on here. So while we will be referring to mostly their character names and their champion names as we go on through with this game, we can still have a bit of a mention here as to their actual names going into it, as if there are any watchers, if there are any people that are going to watch out for them, now's the time, because for their side, we've got Garrett and Andrew onto the tank lineup, Ben and Angelo onto the DPS, and for the support side, we've got Gage and Veronica.
I really like that that Windber has given us the player names. You have a little bit of yourself in a gamer tag. I just said that unironically. Oh goodness, you've got a little bit of that identity in your gamer tag. And as we head into the map, it's just really cool for me to see from Windber that that it's not just nameless acolytes here representing Windber. It's a team of students, all playing on kind of the school's client PCs. But again, you've got Garrett, Andrew, Ben, Angelo, Gage, and Veronica. Those are the players behind them, and they're going to be the ones that we're paying attention to here. Very excited to see what Windber brings.
Indeed we are, and I can't wait to see what we're gonna have here. For the first starting up comes, let's see some comfort picks being taken out here. Looks like we're still to our usual Ryan Zarya versus Ryan Diva onto the tank lineup. For DPS, we've actually got something different. We've got number 6, who is, I'll get it right, it's Ben. It's either Ben or Angelo. I think it's Ben on the Hanzo, which I really love. I used to play a lot of Hanzo back in the day, and against this, well, it's, what's the new name for McCree now?
Cole Cassidy. I like it.
Cassidy,
I think it's a cool name.
It's never not gonna be McCree though, so.
I know for you.
Like, honestly, does anybody call McCree Cassidy?
My teammates yell at me sometimes whenever I call him Cole, and they're like, "Who is Cole?"
Yeah, true, exactly. That messes up the call out, but actually, Jaguar is gonna find the first kill over here as Flip Stingray is playing this wonderfully. Oh, I love seeing a good Reinhardt play here, because look at that aggressiveness. He knows how to use up that shield perfectly, and even the charge was well touched. Oh, I already have just biases.
Flip Stingray was, yeah, that was really aggressive from them. And you see as well that, oh goodness, I'm missing teammates, that Forest Hills is leaning into the strength of the rush style composition on this particular map, on Busan Mecha Base. So I do like kind of leaning a little bit into the meta, while Windber is going to be, you know, on the relatively perceived as weaker Ryan Zarya comp, but you've got some good matchups with with Esports 5 on the Zar.
Yeah, you do, and now Vaco trying to get that high noon up and running. It looks like it's still gonna be taken on a while as the first ultimate is gonna start up here for Flip Stingray. It seems he's gonna use it. Yes, he is fighting two there. Can you even get the kills? Yes, you will. Even on the enemy Reinhardt, it still looks like it's an absolute domination coming out of Forest Hills. I like what I'm seeing. See, Ethan, I like what I'm seeing.
Yeah, Kaede is coming up on that amplification matrix as well. So if you want, if you want to pick one utility to use out of the myriad that you'll have coming up online, Forest Hills can commit the amp matrix to making sure that Windburst stays slowed down. You know, they got the Lucio, but you can't speed into double damage.
Oh, look at this battle!
Oh, look at the fire strike!
That's the start of 205 if I've ever seen one. Flip Stingray. This is the. He is my favorite player already from this league. I have only casted 2 games and now I found him. Finding a triple kill with a fire strike, wow. Yeah,
ends the fight before it even begins and is rewarded with an Earth Shatter for their efforts. You mentioned last series that teamwork really came into as a big factor in Somerset's win, and teamwork is definitely here on the side of Forest Hills.
Oh yeah, that call out was wonderful, and I think Kaede is playing wonderfully well as well to save along Flip Stingray and get them to victory. As well, you've just found yourself another triple kill. There goes the Quadra and so many ultimates invested. I don't think they even care at this point because it's 80% up. You know, sure, Ben might try to stall here a bit, but it's not really gonna happen. It's still gonna go back away, and I don't think that triggers overtime, does it? No, it does not. So,
no.
Last fight potential here. In the last 5 seconds here to go. I think we have a few ultimates to go on through as well. So let's see if number 4 here on this Reinhardt can do anything with that shatter as the beat is gonna go down. The bomb is well coming in from the D.Va. Is it gonna get any kills? Yes, it is. The shatter is
beautiful.
Wonderful.
Shatter.
Even got a Garrett, and it looks like he's gonna just charge away from the map. Doesn't even have a say in the matter as we're still on to here in a 1v6. Yeah, it's gonna go down. Wow, Forest Hills.
That's so unlucky for Windber. Veronica on the Ana had used their nano boost, but it was onto a target that was critical, who ended up getting killed upon the commitment of that support ultimate. So we didn't get to see the nano get used there by. I almost called them Wade Esports as well. You mentioned Atra, you were calling them Wade Esports yesterday. We didn't get to see the nano boost from Ana, but heading into Sanctuary, you're able to opt out a little bit of that rush game. Forest Hills composition ends up looking a little bit weaker unless they do swap it to this more disruption-oriented composition, and that's what Windber's looking to accomplish as well. Albeit with a weirder support lineup. It almost looks like 6-man, but you've got a Wrecking Ball instead of a D.Va. Ultimately, you can make a look like this work on Sanctuary, but you have to commit to engagements on your own terms here. That's what Garrett on the Wrecking Ball is going to be looking to do.
Yes, he is indeed, and now we're just looking out to play the information game, just trying to find out, okay, what do they have, where are they going to come from, and it looks like this left flank is going to be very heavily contested any second here, as, well, Ben is having a few issues trying to get his gauges up across the board, and it looks like the first kill is going to actually come in from Flip Stingray yet again on this Wrecking Ball today. Now, oh, poor Garrett over there onto the Winston, trying his best to actually get it on through, but Vaco with the double kill to end things off really quickly and get Forest Hills that capture point early
You got
on.
a Stingray, you can get the wall jump, there we go! What a champion. Wrecking Ball tech is hard. I've spent hours in custom game modes practicing it, and I'm still inconsistent. Nice stagger eliminations established here by Forest Hills as well. It's going to increase the amount of time that they can generate point progress, and as well, it rewards those who are involved in the stagger kills with a couple of, you know, a little bit of ultimate generation. Vaco's Tactical Visor is going to be really important, but we're really looking more to Kaede with proactive Discord use to amplify the effects of that ultimate from Vako.
Yeah, and now look at the DPS lineup here. Vako still going on strong, but I did want to talk about Angelo switching up to that Genji along with Ben on the soldier. They're both gonna fall down now. Kaede being the main support here, looks like the main DPS I meant, coming up here, finding the kill onto Ben on that soldier. Now we're looking at a lot of ultimates being online here for Forest Hills, right? And they've got the man advantage as well. Everything is just going their way, isn't it?
Vako's got the tracking as well. It's really, really good. And it helps them find that pick onto the Winston for Windber. You have to see a reset here at this point. Although you do get a pretty valuable trade on Vako. They didn't use Visor. They've got the sprint to come back out from spawn pretty quickly. Right now, Windber's on the back foot, and you want to see a commitment of the minefield and the sound barrier to get them into a fight and then keep them there.
Yeah, but Windber are trying their best to just play it safe, and it looks like that's just not gonna happen for now, as Ben is gonna fall away, as Flip Stingray is just playing this Wrecking Ball so well.
Nice power drop,
The healing coming in from Napoleon, of course, is gonna save away his teammate's life, as the minefield is gonna come onto the side for the last 10%. Oh, Garrett can't do anything, can he? As falling, Flip Stingray still gonna continue on this kill streak along with his support. Looks like Vako is just showing his dominance as the rest of the team.
Well, that's a pretty decisive win here for Forest Hills, picking up the first map in the series. It is going to be them establishing that point lead. It's a best of 3 as well, so the first team to pick up 2 maps. This is a good lead that Forest Hills have, already putting us into match point territory here. This is the beautiful fire strike. Oh my goodness! God. Again, that's coordination. All my Reinhardt mains in the chat are, foaming at the mouths, a little bit salivating at the prospect of getting one of those themselves. On the topic of the chat, guys, be sure to shower all of our contenders today with plenty of love in the chat. Show your support for the teams. You know this, Atro. Playing competitive Overwatch, that is the organized team setting, not the solo queue ranked. It's challenging and it's fatiguing as well. These matches, they feel short, or they are short, but they feel long to players, and so it's a real test of endurance. Be sure to show plenty of support for all of our players today.
Not only to endurance, but as you were saying, the mental game here is what's really big on these two teams, because you have to constantly be thinking about, oh no, did I mess that up? Did I help out my teammates? Are we going to go in here? Are we going to do that? Are we going to do this? And in a game like Overwatch, if you don't have a predetermined team leader to kind of deal with all of this, as I think Forest Hills do have, because it looks like they're playing really well together and they know how to get these flanks, Windber are a bit struggling on that communication. I think that's a big factor of what just went down here. But you were talking about the chat, and sorry if I'm taking up a bit of your time, but Nizzy said here that Flip Stingray is currently in the last season until graduation, so I can tell why he's trying to go big or go home.
Absolutely, put on a great show before departing from the school. Definitely best of luck to them in the in the series, in the season, but as well, that last season till graduation, that time flies by pretty quickly there. So already putting on a really good show for us. Forest Hills takes that first control point map, but Atro, control point game mode ends up being, it's so different from the other game modes. So I think that if there's an opportunity for Windber to come back from this, it's going to be in the escort game mode. You guys already know it. We'll be heading to Havana for our next map, and this is a chance for Forest Hills to continue to show us high levels of coordination, but as well for Windber to demonstrate to us that control point, it's just not our game mode. We take escort very easily.
Oh yeah, imagine we get to see the comeback of the century here and maybe a close-knit game for Anubis. I can't wait. I really want to see Anubis today though, so maybe I'm going in with high hopes for Windber, actually going into it and being like, hey Vako, we have even better DPS. Hey, we're gonna do everything in our possibility to just get on through this game and get the third map, because that's what we really want to see. And,
we'll be heading into the action here in a couple of moments. I'm pretty excited to see Havana. We've already gotten to see different looks from these teams compared to what we see in the previous series. And as well, Astro, I've got to mention, these games are playing out, or rather the engagements in these matches are playing out a little bit quicker as well. So it's really cool that we've gotten to see a lot of different styles of gameplay as far as on the team level, just in 2 series today.
Indeed we are, and in a few seconds we're gonna head into game as well. Havana next up here. Forest Hills, I think they're gonna try to go for an even more aggressive lineup here because, well, they've seen that their mechanical skill is really warmed up today, and they're doing a great job at just lining things up and managing to actually get these little skirmishes that actually work for them, right? So we see Vako on the Widowmaker, which I absolutely love. We're gonna see some amazing mechanical skill from him. With Flame Stingray actually switching on here, I guess it's a bit of a role swap here coming in from Forest Hills. But
Yeah.
I agree with it. I think it's cool.
Because you've got Kaede off of the Zen and onto the Reinhardt. The Mercy Baptiste healing lineup is, we mentioned Mercy Lucio in the last series, but Mercy Baptiste for the Reinhardt is more than enough. And as well, Napoleon with an attentive damage amp is going to make a break out of the spawn here for Windber. Very challenging. You can already see it. Forest Hills going for this close hold on Havana. Easy to do, hard to master kind of deal here.
I like the play on words coming out of Devo and playing Diva. Very smart. Very smart.
True.
Now, although we're starting things out pretty rough, right? Oh, wow, Vako, I like what I'm saying. Oh, God, yes. Look at it. Because, they know what to do. They know how to play it, and they've played it before. You can tell that this is a team who has played Overwatch as a unit before in team play and in competitive maybe as well. So Vako is just continuing on to getting these headshots just effortlessly there in the back, as hopefully Jaguar is not going to fall down there into the spawn line, and they're holding them at the spawn doors. Wow.
Yeah, and this is a pretty conventional strategy that Forest Hills is opting for. There are ways to break out of it. All it takes is maybe 1 or 2 eliminations. The investment of resources from the defense here to eventually get a handle on this objective. It can be difficult to not get stymied here, but with the tempo revive onto Ben, things might be winnable. Oh, until Vako strikes back.
Vako. I mean, I like that Ben is at least attempting to switch onto this Widow and try to get Vako out of the equation. But is that gonna happen? As Kaede is playing so aggressively here, are they gonna go down? That's the question, because Ben here with that Widow is doing a nice little damage onto the Diva, as we're still looking on at a pretty discombobulated team bomb away coming in here from Forest Hills. They're trying their best to stay alive and keep everyone else into the point. I mean, into the spawn, because they're not really getting to the point, but they're trying.
Yeah. Ooh, and Ben's got to watch out. There's the infrared sights from Windber. And I think that the double shield has really helped them to find some space against this close hold. Flip Stingray is out of the fight. There's the Dragon
Blade. Finally, we're seeing some ultimates coming out of Windber now, and everything is just being thrown down at once. Bongo Blade and the infrared sights being all thrown down, and only 1 kill coming out of it. Now the second is gonna roll on through, so I guess that's good. But Vako is still pulling away and still pulling through with our expectations as he's getting these trade kills that they desperately need. The second sniper is gonna come in here though. Flip Stingray onto that Hanzo as the projected barrier is gonna come out of here from Jaguar. He's trying to save away his teammates with just a bit more damage, and that's exactly what he's gonna do. Oh my god, there is so much going on, but it looks like it's still in the favor of Forest Hills for now.
Windber's finding a couple of trades. Nice cancel on the revive as well from Garrett there on the Sigma, helping to prevent a manpower equalization of Forest Hills. Resources expended early from Forest Hills on the defense, which actually gives Windber an advantage the longer this fight goes on. You trade Garrett on the Sigma, but again, you're getting picks in the process.
Yes, you are, and now everybody from the Forest Hill side is forced to reset, forced to go back. You're only gonna get 1 more close fight for this objective up into the top 1, and it's still a minute away. You can still play along with it. You can still play with your food a bit, let it get just a bit colder. But it looks like everybody's finding themselves.
Vako's warm, Atro.
Yeah, he is hot right now, and it looks like a double trade is gonna come on here for both sides right now. Nice sleep coming out of Diana, and it looks like there's just a lot of trades coming out, there's just a lot of kills coming out of Vako, Jaguar as well, and that's just gonna let Forest Hills continue on going with this momentum that they've had.
That's a really nice retake from Forest Hills, but there's still an opportunity for Windber to bring themselves back here on Havana. The Gravitic Flux expended by Garrett there was good. It got Napoleon out, but ultimately that respawn advantage is really favorable here for Forest Hills. Coming into last fight with a Shatter and a Dragons, and the Shatter's big!
Along with Flipsting staying down there in the corner to absolutely end things off. And not even to the first point. Poor Windber tried their best, but Forest Hills are just on a roll today.
Yeah, Forest Hills are looking really good. Definitely taking a couple of pages out of the book of some high-level gameplay. But you can't accomplish those kinds of strategies without some high-level gameplay of your own. So I think that what we're getting to see from Forest Hills here in week 1 is just a fantastic debut from a team who is, well aware of the pace at which you can play the game, which enables them to do things like the close hold, the retake strategies. We're seeing a lot of Vaco in the kill feed, but that kind of pace, it's determined ultimately by your tanks and supports. And I alluded to this at the beginning of the first series, saying this is an era of tanks and supports. It's always been that way in Overwatch, to be honest. DPS is the worst role, but let me tell you, Vaco's making it look pretty good.
I think a good DPS, definitely a good DPS, can make or break a team, because you still need that sustainable damage and those sustainable picks that Vaco has been getting, being there in the back. You can't say that he doesn't have a mechanical skill. He definitely does. He hits so many good shots and so many important shots, impactful shots for his team now, for Forest Hills. Now switching sides though, even though he's still going to be staying onto that DPS and still onto that Widow, I think he'll have a lot of value coming up into it as well. So we'll just have to wait and see to how actually Garrett is going to be playing onto that Roadhog, because I think that's going to have an even bigger impact.
Kind of like a Widow or a Mercy player, good Roadhogs are a hot commodity in the environment of Overwatch right now. That's a nice aggression from Kaede. They get punished for it, but I think the revive is there.
No, it's not. No, it's not. It's gonna go back away because it can actually go behind enemy lines now. That shield and hook is being played out to perfection here. It's gonna go down, but this doesn't matter. Sure, Flip Stinger is gonna get a bit of damage in, but the Immortality Field is gonna be wonderfully placed down by Jaguar. And oh, poor Baptiste getting taken down over there. I said Jaguar because I knew that usually they were on Baptiste. And now it seems like the sides have changed, and definitely the tides have changed as well, as Forest Hills are continuing on, even on this attacker side, to be absolutely dominant, and it's definitely working in their favor. Flip Stingray with the double, and it's only down to Ben. It's only down to Garrett, actually, not to Ben, to do anything here. And sure, as much sustain as a Roadhog has by himself, he's not going to hold for long.
Game. That was a nice pin there from Kaede, though. And it's all but over here for Windber.
Oh, yeah.
Nice take of that first objective. Really just the distance on that first objective from Forest Hills. Atro, I gotta say, though, I'm a little sad. No Anubis for us today. What?
No, not today. Not today, but we still have a lot of time to go, and maybe we'll have games like, I don't know, Forest Hill Rangers versus Somerset Area Golden Eagles. I'm really excited to see that. I'm really excited to see how these teams will evolve during the, I think, 4-week or 5-week period that we've got going on here for this league. So I'm really excited for it. I hope you are as well. But sadly, I do have a bit of bad news, Ethan.
Oh no, Atro, what have you got for me?
It's well, it's the last game for today, as the next one will have to be postponed. We're not going to be seeing any more good Overwatch. But I do hope that everyone that has been watching for now has really enjoyed it. I definitely know that I've enjoyed watching it and casting it. I don't know about you.
It's been a real treat. Again, whether it was the slower, more methodical pace gameplay that we got to see in the Somerset versus Greater Johnstown matchup, or the quicker, maybe more elite gameplay that we got to see from Forest Hills in honestly, a worthy opponent in Windber. I'm content with all the Overwatch that we've gotten to see today. But unfortunately, we didn't get to see that third series. But again, like you mentioned, Atro, this isn't all the Overwatch we're going to have for you. 6 weeks of Overwatch here in the TEC High School League. And like you mentioned, teams are only going to get better from here.
Indeed they are. And, well, I guess that kind of marks the end of things, but coming straight from Romania, from where I am, I'll have some important announcements for you guys. So Monday, starting at 3:30 p.m. EST, we're going to be working on some more games for you guys. We don't yet for now have what's going to be going down, but I can tell you that the Esports Company High School League Valorant Week 2 continues on at this right on Twitch channel, so be sure to stick around for that. You're gonna have a notification. Be sure to periodically check in to see when that's gonna happen. But Monday at 3:30 p.m. definitely be sure to be here. I don't know if I'll be there, but definitely some wonderful casters from our roster team are gonna be walking you through it. Also remember to check out our socials down with the exclamation point socials command down in the chat below. Follow the Esports Company High School League socials and everything else there, because it definitely helps us out. And something that also helps us out, if you've enjoyed what you've seen on today, is checking us casters out, excuse me, with the exclamation point casters command down in the chat as well. That's kind of been all for me. GG's from both teams. I'll leave it up to you, Ethan.
Well, again, it's a great 2 series that we got to watch today. Again, a little reference back to that third series that we were gonna watch. Be sure to stay tuned for news on when we will get to see that matchup. I'm looking at it right now. The Berlin Brothers Valley versus Moshannon Valley. Be sure to use the exclamation point social so you can follow TEC on all of their respective platforms and stay updated for that. Be sure to hit the Twitch with a follow as well so that you guys get notified of when we go live with any of the games that we cast here at TEC. Atro, it has been a pleasure finally getting to cast with you here in the booth. And again, like I mentioned, it's good to be back in the booth with TEC anyways. Like you said,
As well.
that's all the Overwatch we've got for you guys tonight, but stay tuned. Much more to come. For now, y'all have a spectacular rest of the evening. Thank you for watching.
Bye.